There we go. Okay, so we're going to do a quick half hour because I know Chalene has to come. Thank you for coming on and doing this for us. I know everybody loves these who's done them. So Chalene, what are you guys in right now? Are you in 3 qual?
3-star qual, yeah.
How many weeks do you have to go?
3.
3. Okay, yeah, because I know Deb has 2 weeks to go, and it's just it's stressful. But thanks for doing this because I know you don't have to. So she's going to lead us through a power half hour on Instagram, right?
Yes.
Okay, go big.
All right, so you guys, I usually do this in an hour, so I'm going to kind of scale it back a little bit, and I'm going to try and get through as much as we can in a half an hour. So I use the Success Club Business Activity Tracker. So if you guys don't have this, this is what I use. I just dig really deep into it. So to start, every single week, I go over my why. And what is my why? And my why honestly changes from month to month. My bigger why stays the same always, but month to month, I set smaller, more tangible goals that are going to push me every single month. So maybe for you, that is enough income for Christmas presents, so it's not going on a credit card this month. Maybe for you, it's a car payment. Maybe it's paying the hydro bill. Maybe it's just helping 3 people. Whatever your why is, I need you guys to write down your why really quick. You have like 1 minute, write down something that you are working for this month. Go. And I will be using the chat. When you guys are done, just write done in the chat. It helps me to know where you're at. Perfect. Okay, as you guys are finishing that up, your target market. Again, I always start with this before I do a power hour because I want to make sure that I'm not just jumping into Instagram or I'm not just jumping onto Facebook and I'm just out of scarcity going, I need to do this. I have to do this. I need to know who I'm trying to connect with. So I want you to reiterate your target market. Who is the person that you are looking for to join your team? Write that down. And this kind of changes, right? Like think about the season that we're in right now. For me, my target market is moms, but right now in this season, I'm targeting moms and I'm speaking to moms on my stories who are like done. The schedule is crazy. You're worried about money. You are stressed out to the max. It is like insane time of year and you're trying to bring that joy back. So that's my target market. So make sure you get kind of clear on who that person is that we're looking for. Comment done when you're done. Okay, awesome. Moving through I'm really gonna work on section 2 of the tracker. Section 1, when I do a power hour, honestly, number 1, be proof the products work. It's not included in my power hour. That's outside of it. Number 3, getting people results in my challenge group. I separate time for my challenge groups outside of my power hour as well. So your challenge group, schedule 15 to 20 minutes to jump into your challenge group in a day and go through all of that. But that's outside of your power hour. And number 4, personal development. That's just a no-brainer. That's something that you can do in your morning routine, your evening routine, on your way to work, if you're listening to podcasts while you're folding the laundry, whatever it is. So we're gonna do all of our work in section number 2, and I wanna start with initiating connections and adding followers. I truly feel like people don't know what this means. And I think oftentimes we're like, okay, we're gonna add followers, but how do I do that? I don't know how to do that. So I'm gonna break it down for you guys on how I add followers. I don't use a third-party company to help with my Instagram. I used to, and I stopped. I haven't used one for a really long time. And this is how I'm growing my following organically. And it seems to be working pretty well. So what I want you guys to do is understand that Instagram, you have to be using all of their features in order for this to work properly for you. So we're gonna move around in the app quite a bit. Try to keep up. I'm going to move pretty fast, but the whole point of this is that we don't get caught in the scroll on Instagram, or we don't get caught in watching what everyone else is doing. We're actually in here to work. So we're gonna go pretty quickly. And if you guys have questions, you can drop them in the chat. I will answer them as you're going and as you guys are working. So we're gonna get started. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to open up Instagram, of course. I want you to go to your feed. So it's your home button on the bottom. Hopefully you guys can see my phone okay. The home button there. Now this is your feed. This is normally where we get caught scrolling. I want you guys to go and like 20 photos. Don't overthink this. Don't overcomplicate it. Just go and scroll through and like 20 photos. Make sure you're not liking other coaches' photos. You're not liking celebrity photos, and you're not liking musician photos. So if you see those ones, just skip past it and go to the next one. When you're done, comment done. This should be like 2 minutes, really quick. Okay. If you guys found in the first little bit when you were scrolling that these first few posts were all Beachbody coaches, or the first few posts were like all celebrities, that's because you're interacting with those accounts more than you're interacting with anything else on Instagram. So what you might have to do for the first little bit while you go through this is you might just have to like scroll all the way down for a bit until you get to outside of Beachbody coaches, and those are your actual followers and the people that you're following. Okay, so make sure you keep that top of mind. If you're seeing coaches, it's because you're interacting with those accounts more so than anything else. So we want to reduce how much we're interacting with other Beachbody accounts and celebrity accounts. Okay, I'll give everyone a couple seconds here. Comment done when you're done that. Also, turn your notifications off if you haven't done that yet. No distractions. And if you are done, just keep liking some photos while we wait for everyone to catch up. Okay, if you haven't liked 20, that's okay. Just stop where you are. We're gonna move on to the next part. So I want you guys to figure out on Instagram, I have, if you guys don't know what collections are, I'm gonna teach you what collections are. If you do, just like nod your head. I can see most of you on Instagram. Does anybody not know what collections are? Okay, so I want you guys to go into an account that I call target accounts. Now these accounts for me are other mommy influencers, they're bloggers, they're small companies, they might be like a local coffee shop, it could be anything that's kind of like your jam, things that you're into, things that you like that are, again, not celebrities, not musicians. Why I keep saying that is because celebrities and musicians have a lot of younger followers, and we just get trapped into end up following and commenting on a bunch of profiles that really are not a part of our market. So I really try and stay away from celebrities and musicians. Go into a target account, and I work target accounts more than hashtags. This I find is working really well for me because I'm finding a lot more people who are active on social media instead of trying to search through hundreds of hashtags. They do work, and I do go through hashtags, but target accounts I find is really where it's at. So a target account for me is like Cat and Nat. If you don't know them, you can search them on Instagram. I go into them all the time. You probably will see me liking and commenting on a lot of their posts. The reason that I like them is because they are targeted at moms, and they are targeted at just like being unapologetically you. And for me, that's my vibe, that's my brand. So I will go into the target market account and I go to the top 3 posts. So if you guys don't know what an account is or what your target account is, think of before you were a coach and what accounts were you constantly liking and commenting on. Think of those accounts. Those are probably your target. And if you don't know what those are, you can take a little bit of time to like dig in and see if you can find some really great influencers or bloggers that are in your market. but I want you to search one right now. And if you don't have one, go to Cat and Nat. We'll work through that one. I don't want you guys to waste time trying to find one. And what I do is right away, I go to one of their posts and I save it as a collection. So you're gonna click on a picture, go to the little flag on the side, and then click on Save to Collection. I have a ton of collections on Instagram. All of these collections are, for me, I have one that says Target Market. So now when I want to do this piece, I can go right into my Target Market collections and I have all of the cool accounts that I love to follow. And this is where I love to connect with people. So it just takes the work out of when you have 15 minutes to do this, you can go in and you can do it really quickly. Okay?
Chalene,
So, yep.
would you, I know you're saying try to like local and smaller. Is there a number that you would say is too big or just go for it? Because I know Cat and Nat's pretty big.
For me, Cat and Nat, I mean, I kind of have to sift through a little bit of what they have because they do have some younger followers, but for the most part, their number of followers doesn't really matter. They are local to me because I am close to Toronto. But again, when people start getting up at like close to 500,000 followers, like go back, go a little bit smaller. But honestly, if their content's really good and their following's really great, then go with it. I mean, they get on theirs, they're getting like over 400 comments on their posts. So for me, this is 400 people that I can connect with.
Awesome.
Yeah. So some of the smaller ones, it just takes a little bit more work. But yeah, I think it kind of goes account by account. So what I do is I go into the last 9 posts. We're only going to do 3 posts because we only have a half an hour here. You go into the last post. I'm just going to turn my volume off there. And what I do is I like the top 9 posts. So we're going to like the top 3 posts right now. And I want you to leave a meaningful comment below. So when you're done that, say done. Nobody else sees your collections, Amanda. That is personal just to your Instagram account. And when I say meaningful comment, it really is not just, you look fab, I love your shirt, oh my God, your lipstick color, what is that? It's like, get into it a little bit. Like talk to them like you would talk to your friend. When you guys are done commenting on their last 3 posts, say done in the chat.
Krista, I just saw your comment. I'm like, oh, I know this girl.
And the other thing too is like, don't go to Rachel Hollis and go to hers, because motivators like that they're speaking to network marketers. We're not searching for their network marketers. We're searching for our people, like our tribe. So try to stay away from some of those accounts. And this might take a little bit of trial and error, but you'll start to notice in the comments, like who else is commenting. And don't be afraid here to like, I literally have told 1 million people that I go into Cat and Nat and I use that account. You guys, they have 400,000 followers. There's enough for all of us. Like, don't feel like it's a scarcity mindset, right? Like, be totally abundant about this.
And one thing you mentioned on the call the other day, which I found helpful too, is that you do this before you post something in the morning, right?
Yeah. So I'm doing all of this work for you guys, and I'll kind of get to that part, but I'm doing all of this work right now because you want to be active on social media before you post anything, before you DM people, because the more active you are in other people's accounts, the more likely it is that your stuff is going to get seen by them, because they're going to go check out your account. Once they see a notification that you liked something of theirs, oftentimes they go and look at who you are. Okay, we're going to move through. If you guys, do I stick to the same account daily? No, I honestly, I think I have 15 different accounts that I have in my target market, and I kind of sift through them because my target market, sometimes they don't post daily. So there's not a new post. I can go into older posts, but if there's not a new post, I have to go to a different account so that I can go into the newest post and the people who are most active on Instagram right now are who I'm looking to connect with. Okay, I want you guys now to go into one of the last 3 posts on that same account. And I want you to look at the comment section so you can see the comments. You can open them up. And once they open up, you can scroll through all the comments here. I want you to reply to 3 people in the comment section right here on this account. What I love about doing this, I'm just going to talk as you guys do that. What I love about doing this is that it gets your name shown on another account. So often we're trying to get our name out there. We're trying to get our account out there. And this is just a way that you can leave a meaningful comment and reply to someone else. Yes, it's going to connect you to that account specifically, but someone else scrolling and looking through the comments, because you know other people who are not working on Instagram are looking at all of these comments. So that gives them the opportunity to notice you and to see you and to find you. Whereas if we're constantly in the DMs, which I call, and it's called dark social, it's just like a one-on-one connection on social media. If we're constantly living in the DMs, how are other people going to find us? So I want you guys to use this part as connecting. And I use all my connecting on the main platform. So that's through commenting and liking on other people's accounts. I don't connect as often in the DMs as I do publicly in comments. And this just helps to get your account seen. So once you've replied to 3 comments, say done in the chat.
Teacher in the group who's a horrible learner. Can you repeat what I'm doing?
Yes, absolutely. So you're going into the target market that we were already in. You're going to one of their top 3 posts. You're going into the comment section. So open the comments up and you're replying to 3 people. Sorry, it's really bright. I'll turn my brightness down. You're replying to 3 people. 3 of these comments, you're going to reply to those right here.
I've got someone else, but like Kat and Nat, 3 people that made a comment.
Yep.
That I see Rachel put a comment there and Krista. I would respond to Rachel's comment, even though I don't know her.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. This is responding to people you don't know. So like, look for the comments, and it's like, sometimes there's moms. Like for me, it's easy because I'm like, moms are my jam and this is my account. And if you're finding that you don't find comments that you relate to, it's the wrong account. Scratch it, go find a new one. But for me, like, they will post something about a mom truth. They do mom truths all the time. And then all these moms are commenting about how they're struggling through their day and how it's so hard to get by with a toddler. And what do you do when they just won't stop the tantrum? Reply back, give them a tip, reply back. So you got this, mama. Like, encourage them, inspire them, empower them. And that for me is where I live in this comment section. I don't spam it. That's why I say I only do 3 in the one comment. But that's a really great way to just support other people on other accounts. And you'd be surprised if you ask a question here, you'd be surprised at how much people will respond back. So if you're like, you've got this, have you tried? They'll reply back to you. And now you've got a conversation going on a different account without having to ever DM this person. And don't overthink it. Just reply. When you're done, say done. Okay, now here's the next part of being in the comment section of a target market. What I like to do is Again, we're just into the comments. Oftentimes I find people go to accounts, they go to their followers, and then they follow their followers. And that's the step we take. And we're missing a huge piece because you don't know if their followers are active on Instagram or not. So you could be following someone who is like a really old user or an older account on Instagram. You could end up following someone that you really don't know if they're your target market or not, because they could be a private account. So there's so many more layers when you just go to follow people. That for me is like a vanity metric where you're just trying to like click up your followers, which is okay to do once in a while, but know that that's likely not going to build your Instagram the way you want to build it. And it's not going to bring you those connections that you're truly looking for. So I don't recommend that you go and you do that. You can, if you're going to, you can do like 10 follows and that's it. You cannot follow and unfollow more than 50 people in an hour. You will get blocked on Instagram. So keep that in mind too. If you're like someone who just clicks follow and you just go through follow lists, you might get blocked, or Instagram isn't showing your stuff to other people as much because they think you're spamming the platform. So what I like to do is I go into that target account. I go into the comment section, and you can go to the top 9 posts here. These are the most recent posts, especially if they're like a pretty big influencer and they're really active. They're probably posts that have been within the last like 5 days, right? So go into the comment section of the post. If this loads, I can do this. And what I look for is I look for the circles around people's names. This means that they have a story up. So now I go into their story and I go and I reply to their stories. This is how I find new people. So go and look for these circles. I want you to look for, we're short on time. So normally I look for like 10 circles and I go and reply to 10 stories. Let's just do 3. So look for 3 circles. And guys, I totally am like, I look at the picture and I'm like, nope, next. I look at the next picture and I'm like, oh, you're such a cute family. Yes, I go into that one. Like you have to have that first initial connection. So look for a cute picture that has a ring around it and go and watch one of their stories, reply to it. Do not watch all of their stories. Just watch one and reply to the one and then get out. This is where we get stuck, right? You watch one story, then you get stuck for like 20 minutes watching other people's stories. If you guys
And we're not following these people. We're just going in quick and dirty and leaving a comment.
Yeah, I go in, I watch the story, I leave a comment. If I feel like, ooh, this person is like, I want to be their best friend, I'll go into their account and I'll follow them. But for right now, I literally just go reply. Because you have them now, you have it in your DMs that you've replied to them. So if you need to go back and find this person, it's in your DMs. Comment done when you are done. And this part is really cool. People who already post stories, these are the people that I often connect with first, because if I'm looking for coaches, and for me, I know that you need to be active on Instagram to be a coach. And if they're already comfortable posting stories, that's like a huge win. Rachel just connected with someone. I can see her face.
I want her home and she needs to be my best friend.
There you go. That's your person. Go stalk her. Okay, Michelle, you are going into the comment section again. You are looking for people who have a ring around their profile picture, and you're looking for a cute profile picture. If you like it, go watch their story and reply to them in their story. You'd be amazed at how many like incredible people you find doing it this way, especially when you're in your target account. And I'm just going to stress that like a million times. If you're doing this process and you don't find anyone that you're connecting with, we just need to find a different target market account. You can go through their followers and do this as well. I go through the posts just because it's the most recent. But yes, you can totally go through their followers and do that. So you guys, you could do this for hours, literally. Just go through accounts and work the account. Comment, leave meaningful comments, reply to people, go follow people. If you find someone you're like, ooh, I really like that person, go to their account and blow it up. I don't have like a specific method. I don't do 531. I don't like, there's no specific method. I just literally go to someone else's account if I find them and I'm like, ooh, I love these pictures. And I just try and spend a minute on their account. And I leave a couple meaningful comments. If I'm impelled, like if I feel like I'm driven to send them a message because I really, really love them, I'll send them a message, but I don't force it. So if it's not there, I just don't. Okay, so I'm gonna move out of the target market account. I want you guys to go to the Discover page. So it is the little magnifying glass at the bottom. This is called your Discover page. This is where I also live. So what I like to do on this page is find cute little quotes or recipes or like empowering things. It could be like a tip and a trick, and I tag people in the comments of that post. So the people I'm tagging are people that I have invited to be challengers, that I want to become my best friend, that are challengers that I would love to be a coach on my team. Anyone that I want to interact with outside of, this is how I get away from like, oh my gosh, how do I message this person again? Like, how do I talk to them? They haven't posted anything on social media in a while. They haven't commented on anything that I've done. They're not replying to my DMs. Like, how do I still connect with this person? This is how. Go tag them in other posts. If it's a giveaway, those ones are really good too. If you find giveaways, you can go and comment and be like, hey, oh my gosh, wouldn't this be incredible to win? However you talk, don't use my words. So go tag 2 people on one post. Again, don't overthink it. If you don't know who to tag, you can just tag 2 of your coaches for now. But I start to make like a list in my notes section of people that haven't committed to a challenge pack yet. And those are the people that I try and tag the most. So we're at a half an hour. Do you want me to keep going? Or do you want me to just like tell you my next tips?
It depends how much time you have.
I'm okay. I'm good for time if you guys are. Do you want to go
Do you
another
want
10
to rattle
minutes?
through the next couple steps quickly?
Yeah, we'll do another like 10 minutes here, guys.
Perfect.
Okay. So once I do that, I will, if I have time, I will watch other people's stories as well that I'm following. Now at the top, I don't love just going to my feed and watching the stories that are right here, because more often than not, those are the accounts that are already challengers of mine or they're already coaches of mine, because we're just interacting so much on social. So you can just scroll all the way to the end and start replying to these people, because these are the stories that you never get to. And we want to make sure that we're connecting with as many people as possible. So scroll to the end and you can reply to these stories, or you can go into your own followers. So if you click on your followers, again, you can go ahead and you can see who has stories up, and you can go and watch their story and reply to their story from here. So this is another way that you can interact with stories without getting caught in the rabbit hole of stories. Again, I watch one story, I reply, I get out, or I like swipe to the next story, swipe to the next story. Just go really fast when you're doing this. Normally I make sure I do 10. So you can just kind of make a note of that to do 10. The next thing that I like to do is I go into my personal feed and I make sure that I go to every single post and I reply to all of the comments that are in here. If it's a bot, reply to it. If it's someone saying, hey, can you rep my apparel? Reply to it. I reply to everything as quick as I try to leave 15 minutes after I post to reply to everything that comes in. But go back and make sure you're replying to absolutely everything. It really helps with your metrics, and it really helps to get your posts seen on more feeds. So I make sure I reply to all of my comments that have been there. I would go to your last like 9 posts and reply to every single comment. I would also go to your last 3 posts even. Depends on how many likes you get on how many posts you want to do. But if you go to your likes, and as soon as you go to your likes, you'll see here, as soon as you go to your likes, everyone's here. So just jump into someone's account and go and blow up their feed. Go and like their stuff, comment on their stuff. This is what I do to interact with the people who are interacting with me. And this is all part of responding to new likes and comments in section number 2. So that's how I go through it. And those are the people that I know are connecting with me the most right now. The other way that you could do this is the heart button at the bottom. These are all your notifications. So as the notifications come in, you can just click back on that account. Oftentimes I find we get stuck in like just watching instead of doing, right? So we're like, oh, they liked my post. That's great. No, go like their post, go click on it, and then go like their post. Go comment on something that they've done. If they have a story, go and watch the story and reply to the story. Just think of other ways that you can, like, once they do something on your account, you want to return that on their account. So if you're asking for likes and comments, you want to make sure that you're liking and commenting on a lot of posts. This stuff here is what I do before I put a post up. So all of this is getting my account really, really active on Instagram. And within a half an hour to 45 minutes, I've likely connected with probably, I don't know, 50 accounts easily. And now I'm going to go and I'm going to do a post. And my post now is way more likely to get seen by more people in a feed than if I were to post and then go do all this stuff. So try to do this first and then post. And if you can get into the habit of that, it truly helps. Don't get caught up on likes on your posts. Honestly, likes have gone down like insane. So if you guys are seeing that all your likes are way down on Instagram, it is not just you. Like, my likes are probably in half, if not more than that right now. So don't get caught up in that because they're trying not to even show people likes. Just know that when a notification comes in, just go interact with that account, whoever it might be. The other thing that I will do, and sometimes this is something that I do at the end of my power hour or after I post, I will go in and I will unfollow anyone who is not following me back. So do you guys know how to do that or how to see who's not following you? Does anyone not know? Okay, I don't see anybody. Okay, so there's no like super easy way to do this, and it takes a little bit of time, so I don't spend a ton of time here. But what I do is I go into who I'm following, click on that, and then, sorry, internet's slow. You can go into an account and you can click on who they're following. So you click on their following, it's loading, and you'll see your name is at the top. If your name's not at the top, they're not following you. You can also search who they're following. And if you search your name, you'll be able to see if they're following you or not. So I unfollow people because you can only follow 7,500 accounts. So with this process, you'll start to follow a lot more people. And over the course of a year, you're going to find out that you're almost maxing out on your follows. Like I'm up over 6,000 followers that I'm following. So I have to make sure that I'm really conscious in unfollowing people who haven't followed me back. Does that make sense? So there's 2 questions here. Would you find the same in their followers rather than on a post? Oh, sorry, I answered that one. How long have you been doing it this way? How much growth have you noticed since you did away with third party? I haven't counted it, but I'm pretty sure I've had like 2,500 followers since doing it on my own. And that's within the last 6 months. So it's been pretty good. I probably get anywhere from like 50 to 60 new followers a day right now, which is high. I used to only get like 1 or 2, or I would dip down like 30 and then go up. The only way I was growing is if I had a third-party account before, and now I'm actually noticing I'm getting a lot more followers because I'm interacting with way more accounts, right? And people are like, oh, who is this person? This person's interesting. So once you guys do a post, I dive into my invites and I'll quickly go over the invite. I feel like oftentimes we're like, oh, I can't DM a person or I don't know what to say. What I love about what we just did is you're probably already in someone's inbox because you were replying to their stories. So the first message you send isn't an invite. And that for me was always really hard. Like I always found I was like, how do I connect with this person? I have to try and be their best friend. I have to like tell them I love their dog and it's so cute and their t-shirt was fantastic. And it just feels icky to me. It's not my style of inviting. I don't like small talk. It's just not who I am. So I do my small talk on their feed, in the comment section, by liking their posts, by following them, by replying to their stories. That's my small talk. That's my connection. If I want to invite, I just invite. I don't try and like lead into an invite, because I can feel when an invite's coming, and they can probably feel that I'm about to invite them or try and sell them on something, because my small talk is horrible. So I just go right in with get to the point. This is an invite that I've shared, and I'll switch it up once in a while, but it's really quick and I don't give a lot of detail. I don't give a lot of detail because I want them to ask questions, and I don't want them to know what, I really don't want to give everything away. And I know if I get an invite that's like this long on Instagram, I don't even read it. I'm like, what do they want? I don't have time for this. And I guarantee you that is what they're saying. If they see a long invite come in, they go, I don't have time for this. What they want something from me. And as soon as someone feels like they want something from you, they shut down immediately. So shorten your invite up if you do have a really long invite. And it's okay. I sent out invites that were like a novel for probably 8 months. Like you just have to fail forward, right? So my invite is really quick. It's like, hey, I was thinking of you. I have a new challenge coming up. Where are you at with your current fitness goals? Super simple, super quick. It really doesn't say like, I'm a bunch of busy moms. We're starting a virtual boot camp. We're starting on this date. We're going to work on nutrition and fitness, and we're going to lose some weight. We're going to get fit. To me, you're telling someone else that they have to lose weight, and right away they're going to put their defenses up. And if you're getting a ton of objections, it's likely in the way that you're inviting, because immediately they get their walls up, right? And they're like, well, why are you saying I have to lose? I don't have to. Do I have to lose weight? And then they get really self-conscious about it. You know what? Especially women, I know that guys get it too, but like we get super self-conscious about what other people think of us. So when you do that invite, just make sure that it's like really short, sweet, to the point, and they'll likely say, hey, this is where I'm at, or I don't have a fitness routine is what I get the most, or I don't have like I'm not working towards my health and wellness. They'll open up. And as soon as you have them open up, that's where you're winning, because their guard is down. So that's what we're trying to achieve. And don't go for women who just had babies. Honestly, okay, so we know a lot of mamas who are pregnant or just had babies. My connection with them is like, how are you doing? Did you get enough sleep this week? Like connect with them on a mom level. And then that conversation can totally move into to be mindset, right? Not ready for working out yet. I know, I was totally there. If you had a C-section, if you had whatever, like we could talk about that for days, but for sure, just like relate to the person with where they're at, especially if you know what's happening in their life right now. The other thing that I would love for you guys to do, and I think that I'll just kind of end it with this. Another thing in terms of like invites, don't forget to invite your challengers to be coaches. This one's a really big one, and I try to invite at least one challenger a day to be a coach. And again, it's a quick invite of just like, hey, I really would love to have you on my team. Have you ever thought of coaching? That's my invite. It's really, really short. And again, most times they say yes. Honestly, most of my challengers are now moving into coaches. I just have to remember to ask. And even the ones who aren't active, I know that I was trained for sure, like watch for the people who are really active in your challenge groups. And those are the people that would make great coaches. You guys, I never participated in my challenge group. Like I was in Jamie and Kim's challenge group for, I think 8 months before I even liked or commented or posted a sweaty selfie. I just watched. And it was once I started commenting, then I decided to be a coach within 2 weeks. So sometimes it's not always the person who's really active. It's just the person who's watching. So just make sure that you invite all of your challengers and then ask for referrals. So that would be my game plan for December, is to ask all of your challengers if they would like to become a coach. And then ask your challengers for referrals. Hey, do you have a couple of girlfriends that would love to do this with you? That's it. Something super simple. Don't overcomplicate it. I think the biggest thing that holds us back from inviting is the fear of rejection and the fear of, you're like, well, what if they ask me a question I don't know the answer to? That's okay. You don't have to reply to someone immediately. And when you don't reply to someone immediately, it also shows that you're busy and you're not waiting for them to reply to you. But make sure that you can go and find the answer and then come back to it. They don't even know that you don't know the answer when you go and find it. Or just say, hey, let me check on that. I'll get right back to you. And then make sure that you follow up with everyone. So you should have a little bit more interaction after doing all of this work on Instagram over the next 24 hours. You should start to see DMs come back, likes come back, comments, replies back to your comments. And as you start to see all of that come back, make sure you follow up with people. That is what I do over the rest of the days. I just follow up with everybody. Everything is in the follow-up. People are busy. They're so busy. So just make sure that you're following up with everyone as they are connecting back with you and inviting them. So anyone who replies back to anything that I just did, I likely will invite them within 24 to 48 hours. I don't have a long drawn out process. And if they say no to the invite, that's okay. They go onto a list at that point for next month. And those are the people that I invite again next month, but I don't forget about them. I often will add them into that collection that I was talking about. And I have a collection that says potential clients, potential coaches, dream team. Like I have all those collections. So I just pop a picture of theirs in there and I know to connect with them the next day or the next week if I want to go in. I hope that was helpful. That was really quick, but I hope that was helpful.
But that's good. And that way you're going to post it and they will come. You thinking eggs and people are going to find you. This is what Kim is doing to grow. I mean, there are the odd gifted people who can not do this, but this is how 95 are successful. That's it. It's just doing this work and being consistent with it.
And it's not hard. This work is all work that we did before we became coaches. We just forgot how to do it.
You made it less icky with the small talk being in the comments as opposed to starting a relationship that might not end anywhere, right?
I spent way too long becoming someone's best friend. And I spent way too long trying to build connections on Instagram. And in that process, it stalled me. Like there was months I didn't even hit SC because I was trying to become everyone's best friend and solve all their problems. Because for me, that was, oh, I'm building a relationship. That's what I have to do. And I really got stuck in that. And I had to stop overthinking it. And for me, this is how I go really fast, and I can get so much more work done when I'm like really intentional with like, okay, I'm going to sit down for half an hour, and I'm just going to like go for it on Instagram. And when I don't think about it, I can get way more invites out and I can get way more connections out. So just don't overthink it. Know what your process is and go through it. I'm also putting together a sheet of like what all of this is, and I'm going to put it in Crush It. Kim's asked for one too, so that you guys have like, I love this tracker. It's fantastic, but it doesn't break it down enough for me. So I'm going to really break it down so that you guys can like quickly just check off and go through.
I posted the notes from your call up above in our chat, guys. So I'll put it on the team page as well so you can see, but yeah, just make it something that you do instead of scrolling other people's feeds and watching, because you could be growing your business or you could be watching other people do it. So
yeah, I've got like 5 more minutes if you guys have questions.
I like this one. It's kind of middle of the road. There's softer ones which don't work. This is a nice middle of the road. Liz is even more to the point. She literally just finds people and just sends the messages, and that's all she does. But this middle road for everybody here. Any questions before we stop?
No, but thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So thanks. You know where I struggle with was commenting on another person's post. I felt like I was intruding, like I was trying to steal their people.
It's a good point. The thing that I will say is like, wouldn't you love if more people were commenting on your post?
Yes.
And wouldn't you love if you were building and collaborating with more people and more accounts? Because for me, when I'm collaborating with non-coaches, if you do this on a coach's account, that's icky. That's where you're like stealing people. That's where that feeling for me would totally come in play. When I'm going into Cat and Nat, they don't have an offer for nutrition or for fitness, or like they don't have that offering. So to me, I bring something else to the table. And if I can bring something different to the table with their following, I don't feel that like you're stealing, but I can see that. I can totally see that mindset and how you might feel that.
I just don't think the account was big enough.
Yeah.
Perfect followers, but I don't think the account was big enough. And I felt like, ooh, he's going to see me and he's going to know what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point to make. And if you feel that way, like if it feels icky, just move on.
Yeah.
Just move on.
That's a good one. I'm not going to use that, but it's perfect.
Come
and I
on,
just thought to her last.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Have a good day.
That was good, but now go do it.
I already have my DMs already got people.
Cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So they DM'd.
What? You're cutting out.
Oh, sorry. What did you say about your DMs?
I already have people messaging me.
Just based on your comments?
Yep.
Nice.
This lady's showing me how to make my playroom pretty.
There you go.
Okay, see you later, guys.
Bye. See y'all.